Good Thursday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Joseph Peterson. Let's go in and talk about the weather for your Thursday evening going into your future. And we have a lot of stuff to talk about, as we always do. We always have a lot of stuff to talk about. And so, obviously, before we get into that, as we always do, if you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. Go on and do so. We right now have 6 people watching and 4 likes, so we're doing good so far. But make sure that you go on and hit the like button if you haven't already. Also, hit the subscribe button if you're new and you've never hit it before. Right now, we are at 627 subscribers, trying to get to 700. We are 73 away from that main goal of 700. So let's go on and get there. And we are right now 23 away from that halfway goal of 650. That's the other thing. And also share. Share with all the people that you know. Share with your friends, family members, acquaintances. Share it to somebody that you met at Walmart today. Just anybody you want to go on and share it to. Go on and send it to them. Share it to them. So you can go on and, number one, help the channel grow. But also, number two, go on and help me out. And help out the content over here. And so that's it in terms of what am I going to talk about tonight? We will be talking about, obviously, the weather, what's going to happen as we go throughout currently and also tonight. We also will talk about our short-term future. We'll talk about the long-term future. We'll talk about the drought monitor. The poll is already inside the chat, so go on and vote inside the poll if you have not already. And then we'll continue to talk about our temperatures, our patterns, and all that kind of stuff. And so, without further ado, let's go on and get started so we don't waste any more time. We're going to start off with what's currently going on throughout the state of South Carolina, and right now, not much at all. Not much at all. In fact, only really just like a little bit of rainfall going on. It's like the coastal low country, maybe a bit inside of the inland low country a little bit, and then obviously some rainfall over here inside of the upstate. But that's about it in terms of rainfall throughout the state. Everybody else, relatively on the drier side. What's going on throughout the entire U.S., though, as we want to start this forward, snow going on inside of Kentucky, going on inside of Virginia, going inside of West Virginia, rainfall also going on in Georgia, going on inside of Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, going on over here inside of North Carolina, and also inside of Virginia. Rainfall also going on down here in Texas, snowfall going on inside of Minnesota, and even up here inside of the Dakotas and Montana and Idaho. Rainfall also going on inside of Washington State, Oregon, and also Idaho again. So that's it in terms of the entire U.S. and what's going on there. In terms of cloud cover is going over the entire state right now. There is not really a single clear spot throughout the state. Obviously there may be that one little spot, but in that, as I'm looking right here, we're all pretty much covered with clouds right now. Even if we go into the future through tonight, going into tomorrow morning, still going to stay cloudy all the way through, even into Friday night. This is Friday night right here, going into Saturday morning, cloudy. Going into Saturday afternoon / Saturday night, we finally start to see some clearing in the upstate, but over there inside the Midlands, Low Country, PD, Grand Strand areas, all these areas still have cloud cover. Current temperatures right now, 46 in Orangeburg, as well as 47 in Sumter, 47 in Somerville, and even 50 in Charleston, 51 in Beaufort, and 54 in Hilton Head Island. We also do have around 51 in Merrill's Inlet and Myrtle Beach, 50 in North Myrtle Beach, and 47 in Conway, 45 in Aiken, even around 42 in Greenville, 42 in Spartanburg, and 41 in Gaffney, York, and Rock Hill, 45 in Newberry, and 45 in Greenwood, 44 in Clemson, Anderson, and 43 in Lancaster, as well as 46 in Florence. Now for your low temperatures for tonight. You have around 37 in Greenville, 36 Spartanburg, and even around 37 in Lawrence, 39 in Newberry, and 40 Winsboro, 42 in Columbia, and 44 in Orangeburg, 44 also inside of Walterboro, and 45 in Moncks Corner, 49 inside of Charleston, and even 52 in Hilton Head Island, 44 in Georgetown, and 46 in Myrtle Beach, 41 in Dillon, and 43 in Sumter and Florence. Now for your high temperatures for tomorrow, Very cool. 45 in Greenville to 43 in Spartanburg, 44 inside of Rock Hill, and even 46 in Newberry, 49 in Columbia, and 48 Sumter, 50 in Orangeburg, and 51 in Barnwell, 54 in Walterboro, 57 in Charleston, 53 in Myrtle Beach, and even around Moncks Corner as well, 55 in Georgetown, and 60 in Hilton Head Island. Rainfall for tonight, going into tomorrow. Good amount of rainfall, 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch possible from Anderson all the way over towards Rock Hill. Lawrence, Greenville, Spartanburg's all included in there. And then 1/2 an inch to an inch is possible down there for pretty much the rest of the state, all the way from the southern Midlands and just to the south of Cheraw, all the way down into the coastal areas. Except for down there near Hilton Head Island, where there's also 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. But everybody else, 1/2 an inch to an inch definitely is forecasted as we go into tomorrow. So make sure that you're watching out for that rainfall, as we all are going to receive some rainfall. We all are. Now, what about the crazy score? Crazy score for tonight, we're at a 31. I don't think anyone's really surprised by that. Why? Well, because we're going to continue to see those increasing clouds occur, and especially after we get past midnight, rainfall will definitely really start to move through. Beneficial rainfall as well, obviously, as we had the last drought monitor. I've not looked at the new one, so I don't know what it looks like. We'll see how beneficial it really will be in about like a good 5 to 10 minutes or so. And then even there's the potential for potentially a breezy coastal area, gust of up to around 20 to 25 miles per hour. So not the breeziest, but it's possible that we could have some winds of 20 to 25 miles per hour near the coastal regions. And speaking of breezy conditions and potential thunderstorm activity tomorrow, Friday, December the 5th, thunderstorms are going to be a possibility from the southern Midlands going into the Low Country and the western PD and Grand Strand areas. And Saturday goes away as well. Excessive rainfall. If you remember yesterday, I said that we had a chance for some excessive rainfall for 2 out of the next 5 days, and both of them are now gone. And so there is now no longer a chance for any sort of isolated flash flooding as we get throughout the next 5 days. And so does that mean that flooding and ponding of roadways is not going to happen? No, it just means that dangerous flash flooding is just not going to be an issue. So let's go in and look at the models now. We're going to start off here at 9 o'clock p.m. And as we go on and continue this forward, you can see as we get to around 12 a.m., you can really start to see that rainfall from the west try to move its way through, and it gets pretty widespread, especially inside of the upstate and the Midlands, western PD areas. Low country, southern Midlands, Grand Strand looks relatively dry, but don't worry, that rainfall definitely will be coming through all the way from 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning, and really getting inside that Midland area around 8 to 9 p.m., 8 to 9 a.m. And then even as you go into 11 a.m., 12 p.m., going into 1 p.m., rainfall, that thunderstorm activity potentially going on inside of that low country area, that southern Midland, that western PD, Grand Strand area. And then you continue even past that and go all the way to 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Rainfall moving all the way from the low country area to the southern Midlands over inside of the PD and the Grand Strand areas again. And so we just have this huge amount of rainfall that's just going to stay in some of these areas all the way from like Friday afternoon all the way through. And you can see how it tracks its way. I mean, this is 1 p.m. right here on Saturday. Rainfall still continuing to move its way through. And then finally on the 7th here, we get a lot drier. You want to look at the entire southeast. After that system moves out of here, it's going to be dry, sunshine, hopefully some rainbows, but sunshine for sure will be making that return back after we get past Saturday going into Sunday. Now, that's it for our short term. What about the long-term future? Going and push this forward right here. You can see the potential for some more rainfall again tries to move their way through. But again, it gets out of here, like I said, and high pressure takes over. We'll try to have that fun in the sun, but obviously weather's constantly changing, so should be. But we'll wait and we'll see what happens there. But you can see that pushed its way through. We have rainfall trying to move its way again through the 12th, through the 11th, through the 13th. And then even as you go into like the 17th, you see all this cold air around us. You even saw some snowfall all the way from Tennessee to Alabama to Georgia, even as well, through like the 19th. Now, it is around 300 hours out, so things will definitely change, but you can see kind of the active activity that we have at the beginning part of December. But then as you go toward like the middle part, that's where it starts to like calm down a little bit. And so that's what we're looking for in terms of for like the rest of December, at least for to the 19th and the 20th, but can't go any further than that, so we can't do any Christmas forecast or anything like that. Way too far out for that. Way too far out. And so that's it for the long term. In terms of convection, what about for dew points, cold fronts, all that stuff? You want to push this forward, you start to see, I mean, we have a for sure cold front trying to come through on the 9th and the 8th and the 9th, those days. Then we have another cold front again on the 11th. Then maybe even on the 13th. We have another cold front on the 16th, and that one really drops the temperature. I mean, we're seeing dry air so low. I mean, the air is going to be so dry potentially as we go into the middle part of December that it could be potentially even in the negatives. Now, again, 300 hours out, but that's just how dry that air is going to potentially be. And obviously with that dry air comes those cooler temperatures, and I mean with that comes temperatures down in the 20s for a good amount of us. I mean, we've seen some 32s near the coastal areas. So even though you know, and like I said, 300 hours out, things will change. I believe this is one of like the second day that this is shown. I have to go. It's a very interesting timeline right there. It shows at 1 o'clock in the morning today, it showed it being around, you know, like below freezing. Go to yesterday's forecast, shows it being in the 50s and 60s. That's just how these models can change. Just go all the way from yesterday's forecast for 1 a.m. on the 17th to today's forecast for December the 17th at 1 a.m. That's just how things can change. But I was saying about how even the models like yesterday had these freezing temperatures coming back, especially as you go into like the 9th. But if you go into the one for today, that one also still has it as well for the 9th. So freezing temperatures as we go into next week, early next week potentially. And that's it for right now for our dew points in terms of our temperatures and stuff like that. I do want to leave the temperature anomaly though, as cooler than average temperatures will definitely be making their way through on that 9th time frame. Warm air, though, definitely tries to take over, 50s, 60s-ish, especially as you get into around, like, the mid part, but then the cold front will come through around, like, the 18th and 19th-ish, and then that will bring us those cooler and drier conditions. So that's what we're looking at for the long-term future. What about the drought monitor? So if you have no idea what the drought monitor is a monitor that we go on and see how the drought is going on throughout the state. So there's 4 options that you can choose from. 4 options that you can choose from. And so as we go into like the poll right now, let's go ahead and check. If you haven't voted inside the poll, I'm about to read the results right now. We're about to reveal it, so make sure you go and make your vote right now. But the drought predictions, we had a drought ongoing inside the state. We still have a drought going on, especially as we go into last week. Is it still there now? We're about to see in a second. 43% thinks that the current drought that we had expanded. 29% said that the drought has shrunken / stayed the same. 29% said the drought is gone, abnormally dry. And 0% says that the drought and the abnormally dry is gone. The abnormally dry pretty much is not a drought, but it is dry. Dry, but not a drought. And so, if I go in and look at the one from last week, I already had it pulled up this time. Usually I have to go and pull it up on the fly real quick, but I actually already have it pulled up. So this was ours from last week. Last week we had a huge drought going on all the way from like Allendale County over near to some of these other areas as well. And let me see if I can go on and get them up real quick. All the way from Hampton County, Allendale County, Bamberg, Barnwell, Aiken, going on inside of Orangeburg, Western Colleton, very far northwestern Dorchester, going on in Jasper and Beaufort, and then up there inside of the upstate, we also had a drought going on over there. And so those are just some of the areas up there that we had. And so we're about to go on and reveal it. But my prediction I mean, just looking at all the precipitation, I don't think there's really a way that the drought really expanded. So I'm going to say shrunken slash stayed the same. So I'm not going to be a part of the majority today. I'm going to be a part of the 29% that said that the drought was either going to shrink or it was going to stay the same. So we're about to go on and reveal that right now. So let's go on and get a drum roll started. Oh, you can't hear it. Okay, that was a huge fail. Hold on, let me start that over real quick. And honestly, the one in the upstate definitely shrunk, but the one on the southern side expanded. So, I'm gonna have to, honestly, because the one in the upstate actually shrunk a little bit and the one in the southern side grew, we're just gonna say that it stayed the same. So I'm gonna say that the 29% that said the drought has shrunken slash stayed the same, you are correct, and I was also included in that group. If maybe there we go. So, that's just what it looks like right now. Now, what's going on right now, in terms of, counties that are involved? Well, we had one in York County, one in Chester County. And so the drought there is pretty much gone. Now just abnormally dry. Lancaster, Chesterfield counties are still included in that drought. And we now have a D2 drought that now expanded. Expanded all the way a bit deeper into Orangeburg County and also inside of Aiken County as well. Also, we had that drought expand all the way down towards Jasper County, that D2 severe drought go down and stretch into Jasper County as well. And so we also have the abnormally dry stayed around the same. Everyone that's in the yellow pretty much was in it, maybe except for like Spartanburg County, Greenville County, Lawrence County. Those areas were taken out of it. Same thing with Anderson and Abbeville. But for the most part, it looks like that definitely a good amount of shrinkage happened, but also some of the drought definitely did grow a little bit as well. And so that's it in terms of the drought. So let's go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off, I believe, let me see, who was this that was first tonight? I'm going to go and get this right here. It was my Aunt Lula here first tonight. She says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. I pray that you all had a wonderful day. I did. Hopefully everyone else did. Thank you so much for that. Miss Oliver says, good evening. Cool, cloudy day at my house. I hope that any rain that we get this weekend leaves by Sunday. It will try to. And I said that it would be, hopefully sunshine by that time frame. But you take a look a bit into the long term and it shows some more things potentially may be causing a problem in the Sunday as well. So we're just going to have to wait and see for that. And once the short-term models come in, we'll see what happens. Let's see what else do we have. She says the shoreline in the pond is less visible after the rain, but it is still there. Well, some more rainfall is on the way, so you definitely will hopefully not see that shoreline. Mr. Anthony said, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. My Aunt Lula says today in Georgetown it was not too bad. However, we had a small shower and lots of clouds. Same thing pretty much over at my house as well. Some small showers here and there. It wasn't really even too much in terms of accumulation. Really was just a sprinkle. And there was lots of clouds. That says, good evening, Joseph and friends. I trust all is well with you all. All is well with me. Mr. Chris says, good evening, everyone. Hope you had a great day. Good evening to you. Miss Tolliver comes back and said it's sprinkled here just enough to use the windshield wipers after some accumulation. Well, maybe you got some accumulation at your house. Let me see. Did it accumulate at my house? Any? No, it did not. Did not accumulate enough at my house. It was actually just a little trace. So, like I said, not enough to accumulate. Not enough to accumulate. Let's see. Dad says it was a little chilly here today. I had to break out a coat. Wow, break out a coat already. Well, I guess it's December, but for Texas standards, especially with temperatures being only inside the 50s and 40s, Let's see. Mr. Chris says started sprinkling here amongst corner around 7 and quit for now. Same thing. Maybe a bit earlier than that for me. Around like 4 o'clock is when it started sprinkling. Even 2 o'clock, I think. That says, in my response to the drought, it expanded here in my neck of the woods. We can go on and look at San Antonio's drought as well. And then after that, Mr. Chris says, please remember to go and hit the like button and subscribe button. Also share with everyone that you know. He's absolutely correct. Right now, we've had 13 people tune in and only 8 likes so far. If you are a part of that 5 that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. Trail says, greetings everyone, greetings to you. Mr. Chris says, check my temperature here in Moncks Corner, and it's 50 as of now. My temperature is right now where I am 49.4, so it's dropping a little bit. My newer weather station right now says 50, but it's at 49.6, so they're only 0.2 off. And then he also says, I've been seeing some forecasts saying that there's a chance of snow in the low country. No, absolutely not. Not correct at all. There is no chance of snow in the low country unless they're talking about it from a long-term perspective all the way into like January and February. Then okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, there obviously is always a shot, but if you're talking about it from a short-term perspective, like the next like 48 to even 300 hours, well, let me stop. The next 40 till around like 100 hours or so. No shot. No shot at all. If it does snow in the low country, especially as we get into like the next 40 to 100 hours, I'm gonna be very shocked. And I will come out here and I will apologize. Ms. Oliver says, sound like Berkeley Electric can start to throw a party around December the 17th with the cold, dry air and freezing temperatures. Yeah, they can definitely will. And then they'll start sending out messages saying, oh, make sure that you go on and turn your heat down for a little bit as well. But that's all. That's all inside the chat for right now. A lot inside the chat, so I'm glad to see that. Let's go on and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, 4 locations, what are you talking about? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we have these 4 locations and the reason why we talk about them is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly, and because they tune in, even though their location is not the main one being talked about, they still show up, they still tune in, and so because of that, we go on and talk about their area. So we're going to start off with San Antonio first. As we always do, and I think that there might be a little something up with my forecastings tonight. Let me see. Yeah, there is a little something off with it. So these things on the screen actually should be definitely changed. I don't know why in the world they're not changing right now. They're like struggling. So we're just going to go on and read it off of here because I always have a backup for it just in case this does not want to work. And so for San Antonio tonight, low temperatures tonight at 44, high temperatures tomorrow at 53, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 48. There is a slight chance of showers tonight, chance of showers tomorrow, but tomorrow night, no chance for any sort of rainfall. Now, what about excessive rainfall, severe weather, all of that stuff? Well, right now, it looks like for the most part, severe weather, you're good there. And then in terms of excessive rainfall, it looks like you're good there as well. I think everybody is good in terms of excessive rainfall. Then for Raleigh, North Carolina, you have low temperatures tonight at 34, high temperatures tomorrow at 40, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 31. Slight chance of rain, then a chance of, or rain and snow is expected, rain/snow. So it's not going to be just full-on rain or full-on snow. It's going to be a mix in between the two. And that's around like an 80% chance or so. That's for tonight. And then tomorrow, rain/snow again as you go into Friday morning, and then it's just going to turn into rain on Friday. Like afternoon, Friday night, no chance of any sort of precipitation there. Severe weather is also not expected either. Then what about Philadelphia, Pennsylvania? You have low temperatures tonight at 21, high temperatures tomorrow at 32, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 27. Not going to get above freezing at all, or you're not even going to get above at freezing for that point. The next time you're going to see that is going to be like Saturday. So you're going to be 32 degrees and below until Saturday. That's how cold it's going to be. No rainfall tonight, but tomorrow, slight chance of snowfall tomorrow and tomorrow night. severe weather, excessive rainfall, none of that is expected either. And then finally, the last one being Duncan, Oklahoma. Low temperatures tonight at 34, low temperatures tonight at 28. High temperatures tomorrow at around 56, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 31. Patchy fog, actually patchy freezing fog, because it's going to be freezing, so patchy freezing fog is expected tomorrow morning. And then same thing as you go into tonight as well. No rainfall is expected though. Then in terms of what's going on throughout the entire U.S. weather news-wise, the storm system will continue to slowly move through the Gulf Coast and southeastern U.S. over the next couple of days, bringing a heavy rainfall threat through the weekend. Isolated instances of flooding may occur. On the north side of the storm system, colder air will support areas of mixed wintry precipitation and light snowfall from the Tennessee Valley into the mid-Atlantic on Friday. And so that's it in terms of the entire U.S. We did get some pictures sent in to the email. Again, that is scweather360@gmail.com. We had some pictures being sent in. First one, well, actually, just picture, that was sent in from Miss Tolliver. She said, good morning. This was early this morning. She sent this at 9:54. Just wanted to share a picture of some snow that Micah sent me from campus. It's really cold up there. And so here it is right here. If you want to see this, all the way up in Ithaca, New York, where you have all the snowfall. It's a very good picture right here. So I do appreciate the picture, and thank you for sharing it with us, for obviously, because we cannot get snow down here. For now, maybe until later, but it's too early right now for us. Too early. But this is the picture. If you want to go in and send a picture like this, you can by sending it to scweather360@gmail.com. Again, scweather360@gmail.com. Just make sure that all the pictures are weather related. And that's all that I have to show for pictures for tonight. And that is all that I can see here. Top fans of the chat for tonight. It was honestly a lot. Like a very good amount. But I believe Mr. Chris still at number 1. Ms. Tolliver was at number 2, if I'm not mistaken. And then for number 3 was indeed my Aunt Lula. So congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans of the night for tonight. If you want to be a part of the top fans, you can. You just have to be here early, and you have to be a subscriber of the channel, and you have to be active inside the chat. And that's all that I have here in terms of the forecast for tonight. Again, if you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. Right now, we have 16 people watching, only 9 likes. So if you're a part of that 7 that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. Also, make sure that you go on and hit the subscribe button. We are at 627, trying to get to 773 away. Share with all the people that you know, friends, family members, people that you just met a couple of weeks ago. It doesn't matter. Just send it to somebody so they can go on and get the weather forecast. And that is all that I have here in terms of the forecast. So make sure you tune back in tomorrow morning for your Friday morning forecast update, as I will be here then. Also, I'll be back again tomorrow night, Friday night, with your Friday evening forecast update, same time, 9 o'clock p.m. And then we just have to get through tomorrow, and we'll be done with the week. So everyone have a fantastic rest of your Thursday, and make sure that you tune back in tomorrow. Hit those 2 buttons if you're new.